Time to talk about your health. Living a Primal Lifestyle. With your hosts, Nico and Ellen Haan. Now, Nico and Ellen Haan.
Good morning, I'm Nico Haan, and welcome to Living a Primal Lifestyle, where we explore a return to a more balanced and natural wild world.
To recover our natural health and regain our rights and freedoms. Good morning, I'm Ellen Haan.
And it's a beautiful day here in downtown St. Petersburg, 63 degrees and sunny. It's wonderful coming in here this morning.
Well, eventually it'll be sunny.
That's true.
Right now it's a little dark.
I'd like to remind you folks to pick up our Primal Edge, over 310 organic cell-ready liquid ingredients, and I'm going to put this on sale starting, I think, Thanksgiving. So
okay,
from Thanksgiving all the way to the end of the year, $25 off that first bottle. I'm going to let Tommy know I just did this. We were talking about it, but he doesn't know it. He's going to wake up with a surprise, a little work to do, but that's okay. $25 off. It's really important to start off your day right, and this is the way to do it with our One-Shot Wonder. And it's all powered by fulvic and humic acid to make the good stuff go in.
And get out the toxic and negative and
the
stuff that has to go out.
That's right. And we also have the Health Signals newsletter, which follows our show. All the articles we talk about on the show are in here, so you can do your own research. And today, before we get started with the main topic, which is going to be celebrations, there's a movie called The Sacred Cow, and it is for free. You just have to sign to, let's see, the website is called Access, ACCESS.sacredcow.info. And you go there and you register, and then
they send you an email.
They send you an email, and you can see this. And this is all about, our health and how you can enjoy meat and why meat is really good for you and if you're doing it the right way. So that's an important part. So today I wanted to talk about celebrating. Since around the corner is a celebration. Thanksgiving, normally, what do we used to do? We used to visit relatives.
Yeah, the family got together.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know how far you want to go back on this, but one of the things when we first met was that we would go visit my sister, her husband, my mother.
And your mother. Mm-hmm.
And
I had no family in Florida at that time.
Right.
And so we drove to Tallahassee. And
yeah, it was kind of a ritual.
It was a ritual. And then Black Friday, your sister and I would go shopping.
Do that crazy shopping, yeah.
We were never on the crack of dawn on Black Friday, but we would go out around 10 o'clock.
But it was a tradition.
It was. And I, it's been a number of years now. Your sister's gone already. But I still miss that tradition.
We really haven't filled that hole, have we?
Well, we have to change traditions.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it came down to, is making new traditions.
Well, we certainly have to do that now, and we started that a few years ago when my sister passed away. We found ourselves at home alone. We've had a couple of Christmases with friends, which is really nice, too.
Mm-hmm. And Thanksgivings with friends.
Yeah, and Thanksgiving is what I meant.
The thing about friends is that they're the family you choose.
Yeah, that's right. And the other is the family you have.
Right.
You're stuck with in many cases. Yeah, in many cases, that's true. Lucky, I have really fond memories of Christmas and Thanksgiving and all the little celebrations that we used to do. My family was a family of celebrations. My dad was a happy guy. He would get up and sing. He would love the opera. So you'd hear him around the house, la, la, la. My mother be going, oh, Nico, stuff like that. But that's the way I grew up. So celebrations have always been a part of our life. Traditionally, when we moved from Holland to Canada, we brought a lot of the traditions with us.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
And celebrated that way. So I learned some of those traditions. And there was one real fond memory that our whole family took place when all our aunts and uncles and my grandfather came over after his wife died. We had this celebration in the Sudbury Arena up in Canada where they had this kind of a thing of ages, a thing of all different cultures. So every country in Europe that was in Sudbury would make a little float a little, we made
like an international.
Yeah, kind of. We had our wooden shoes. My aunts and uncles were all making, whether if it was carpentry, they were making a windmill, or they were making the clothes, and we had the traditional dances. Very, very good memories.
We didn't do that.
No, I didn't do that. But the point is, we were always celebrating as human beings. This is always what we did. And this is something we always look forward to. It's kind of like vacation. You know, we plan our vacations because part of the fun is, we don't know what's going to happen, but part of the fun is planning where we're going. And planning some of the things we want to do.
And celebration, the other thing about celebration is that it doesn't cost a lot of money to celebrate something, to have a little barbecue in the backyard, or to do something, to have a little party, to make a toast, to just to put up streamers, and so even if you're not in a situation where you can go rent a hall or do anything like that, you can still celebrate. It's easy. Celebration is an easy process. It simply requires you to recognize that something good is happening, and then focus on it and think about it and talk about it and focus on the good stuff. And I think in these days especially, it's important with what's going on in the world to celebrate and to find reasons to smile and to be positive. And, you know, when I was working, before I became a lawyer, which was quite a number of years ago, I was very fortunate because I had a boss who every time I did something, he literally would write on it, excellent job or great job, or he'd compliment me. And that was the model that I learned. And then when I became a boss, I used that same model and kept on doing that. And to this day, when my assistant takes on his own recognizance to do something important, and then I make sure I reinforce it, that I recognize it, that I say, excellent job.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll tell you what, one thing I have learned over the years, and it's true for me and it's true for everybody pretty much, you'll go a lot farther with praise and gratitude than, even if you can't give somebody a raise, if you give them praise, it helps, and it makes it so that they're not looking for the raise in the sense, you know, they're appreciating it, being appreciated.
Well, even though money is in our culture the number one thing we all go after, because we have to always, you know, we have to subsist and we have to be comfortable. But that's not the main motivating factor for anything. It is really the praise. It's the things that are hard to put your finger on sometimes. There was a thing in sales that we always did, was coming up with a little self-talk to make things, you know, I'm good, I can do this, and get yourself motivated, because it's not, despite what our society has gone through, it's not natural to boast. It's not natural to put yourself as number one. It's more humility is what we learn as human beings. So to be a salesperson, you have to kind of boast, you have to present yourself, so you have to talk yourself into it. And we'll be right back, folks.
Introducing Primal Edge.
Today, it's even more important to take a supplement that complements your health. Primal Edge is specifically formulated to boost your immune system and help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Our early ancestors found all their nutritional requirements in the wild environment. But today, our food sources don't contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that we need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated humic and fulvic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They've been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, without them, life cannot exist.
That's right, Ellen. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, just $89, exclusively at TFNN.com.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartleys, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com. Will the S&P 500 continue to climb? For bold trades on U.S. large-cap stocks in either direction, trade SPXL, SPUU, or SPXS. Directions Daily S&P 500 Bull and Bear Leveraged ETFs. Direction Leveraged ETFs. An investor should carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses before investing. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a fund's prospectus and summary prospectus, call 866-476-7523 or visit directioninvestments.com. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back. I'd like to remind you that we have $25 off starting Thanksgiving Day. I just sent the text to Tommy, so he's going to be a little mad at me for springing this on him. But $25 off the first bottle. You get your subscription, and you're good to go. So let's talk about this.
Yeah, we were talking about celebration, and celebration also consists of just giving somebody a compliment, recognizing achievements. It doesn't have to be a fancy thing. And one thing I have found is, there's a whole pattern here that goes around celebration. And if you're a person who celebrates other people or who celebrates their accomplishments, who seeks out information about it and to say, how was your day? How did that hearing go? Mm-hmm. How did that meeting go? And then be enthusiastic about it, then people start seeking you out because they know that they can share their good news with you, and you'll be excited for them, and you'll be complimentary to them, and that it feeds on itself and it reinforces. And then and people think of you differently, and they, with employees, for example, they're much more willing to go the extra mile for you. Because really what it comes down to is that people these days are loyal to the individual. They're not so much loyal to the company. They come and they go from companies pretty regularly, but...
I think that has to do with advertising, branding.
Well, it has to do with all kinds of things. Money, near home, boredom or advancement or whatever. But the bottom line is that you can create a kind of a loyalty to you and your group, helps build a team. Mm-hmm. All of that comes with the celebration. And celebration is it's really important, and people forget it.
And not just celebrating yourself, celebrating other people.
Well, yes, of course.
And that's one thing I got from you, is that you really do learn those things. One of the first books that my dad gave me on this type of subject was How to Win Friends and Influence People. And one of the things Carnegie did was, no matter who it was, he got to know the people, whether it was the doorman. He knew that his son was going to college or entering. And this is something that you've always done.
Yes.
And not me so much, but I do it in a different way. Everybody does it a little bit different. But it's important not to just to celebrate yourself. It's to celebrate other people, and you go along for the ride.
Well, I really never discuss my own achievements, but I will... for example, our housekeeper just became a grandmother.
Yeah.
So the first thing I did when she walked in the house was, how was your trip? What happened? How's the baby? Let me see a picture. And of course that was then we got to share, and she got to re-experience the love that she felt holding her first grandchild and so on. And that's the secret too, because when you tell your stories, you re-experience them. Mm-hmm. So it's important to tell the good stories.
Yeah, so you don't experience the bad ones, no doubt about it. Yeah.
We do. We spend too much time running, oh my God, wait till you hear what happened to me. And, and
boy, that's for sure.
Then you have a bad experience again. So
this article that we have here from Psychology Today talks about celebration and how to celebrate little moments, and has a couple of notes here. It says, notice the moment. What is it that you are proud of? What did you achieve today? What do you like about your life? What's the good energy flowing? And it's not always about you, but a lot of times it is about you, because you want to be...
First, you need to recognize things that are working in your life, and you'll always be able to find something to celebrate at that point. And, Thanksgiving is coming, and it seems like a combination of celebration and gratitude is what we need to be focusing on. And this, what are we grateful for? We've had the jokes about 2020. That this is
the scariest.
The four-letter word now, 2020, right?
Yeah.
But ultimately, there were so many things that have happened this year that were good. So many fun things that happen, so much
and they're kind of overshadow. That's the problem.
And we need to focus on those things and be able to have gratitude and to say, you know what, I got to work all the way through the pandemic. I mean, how wonderful is that?
That's for sure. And you were set up for it beforehand, so that was really good. I didn't have any problem with it either. I had a little bit less busy, but that's not bad either.
Right.
Number 2 on here is move out of routine and set the scene. So you kind of have to just...
make it special.
Yeah, and this is why we decorate. This is why we have sacred altars and shrines and places that are special to us.
Yeah, and just putting out, it's like when it's your birthday, I put out a birthday plate and a birthday napkin and a little statuary, happy birthday.
And it's those little things that really make it special, for sure. Yeah. And number 3 on this is commemorate the moment, and that's just what you're saying now. You make a toast, you put out a little, we have cards that we exchange, and from the moment we met, when we started giving cards, it wasn't just one card, it was always 2 or 3 cards, which was kind of nice.
One in the morning and one at night.
Yeah, that type of thing. So we always found ways to celebrate, and I think that's why we're so successful together, not only because we love each other, but because, we have our little quirks and stuff, and we put up with those things, and we celebrate them as well.
Yeah.
Not just, just because it's good times. When the times are rough like now, we still find ways to celebrate. It's an important thing.
Yes, it is. And to make, and you have to make do with, make something important, make something wonderful, make something important, make something meaningful out of everything, regardless of what it looks like on the surface at first glance.
Yeah. Yep, that's for sure.
It's celebration is something that I teach all the time when I'm doing my classes, because even if it's my community associations at their annual meeting, how do you get people involved? How do you get people to step up? And this is true in life, and when you go to a party or you go to an event, and there's always one table where everybody's laughing and having a really good time. So what table do you want to sit at?
Yeah, exactly.
Or be that table. Create that table so that people want to be with you and the positive energy at that table. So it's a matter of finding a reason to celebrate and making sure you do. And year end, when my associations have their annual meetings, I encourage them to give out certificates. These days with the computers, it's so easy to put an appreciation certificate and celebrate and put their picture on the website. And we used to say put it in the newsletter, but put it on the website. And when people see that, they start thinking, well, I would like to hear my name read out too. I would like to see my picture on the website. So they want to get more involved. And it's a way of engaging people in whatever's going on.
Yep.
Helping them become more involved.
It's just as simple as Dale Carnegie said years ago. You remember somebody's name, you say their name, and that becomes the important thing. There's another article here, Throw a Party, why it's just so important to celebrate. And of course, this time of the year, it was all about Thanksgiving and then coming the Christmas holidays and then the big year-end celebration. And, you know, through the years, we have Easter, Valentine's Day, of course, Mother's Day, Father's Day, maybe Grandmother's Day, I don't know. We have a lot of these little celebrations. And most of them, people say today, you know, they were made up by the card companies and stuff like that. But they're still important, and they do have something in tradition somewhere along the line. Valentine's Day is a lover's holiday, I would say, I guess.
Yeah, I guess the downside of it becomes if they put so much emphasis on it, if you're alone, that becomes an issue.
Right.
You know, but don't be alone.
Don't be alone. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
We'd like to tell you about the personal training studio that Nico is the owner and president of, Performance Training. Since 1998, Nico has trained individuals and groups to improve their health both mentally and physically. As a certified personal trainer, Nico's main focus is on demonstrating exercises correctly to avoid injury and teaching his clients how to manage their past injuries while getting the most out of their personal training sessions. The Performance Training Studio is filled with unique training equipment that enhances balanced results at a faster rate while minimizing damage and discomfort. For more information, you can give Nico a call at 727-418-8740 or email him at nico@tfnn.com. Let him know you heard him on TFNN and save up to $100 on a special package just for TFNN listeners. Act today. If you're not currently using the TAS Profile Scanner when looking at setting up your trading opportunities, then your arsenal is short a mighty weapon. The TAS Profile Scanner is a standalone piece of software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, TAS understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. You also gain access to the webinar that Steve Dahl and Tom O'Brien just hosted, The Best Way to Use the TAS Profile Scanner to Profit. This webinar archive is available for all subscribers immediately upon signing up. All new subscriptions also come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Start your subscription by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services tab. Sign up today. Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And welcome back to the show. Just got a message from Tommy. He says, sounds great. He says, I created a promo code, Primal2020. You enter that at checkout, and you get $25 off the first bottle when signing up for this subscription, and you save the money, and then you can cancel anytime if, for some reason, it's not working for you. But I'm sure it will. That's for sure. So now I want to kind of switch around a little bit to talk about the, where am I?
Winter solstice.
Winter solstice?
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, there it is. What our ancestors did for celebration. So it's inherent in us. But
yeah, but it's interesting because the biggest celebration took place at the winter solstice and the summer solstice, when you think about it. Winter solstice makes great sense because the days were the shortest. It got dark. It was dark a lot, especially the more farther north you went, the darker it was. The days were short in the dead of winter, and it was cold, and maybe it was snowy, and maybe the hunting wasn't so good, and maybe it was the point at which you needed a little lift or a little celebration to get you through the dark time into the light again. The days start to get longer after the winter solstice, and
our ancestors certainly knew this. They watched the sky and they watched the sun and the stars. And one thing that happens during that winter solstice for 3 days, the sun, when it's on the horizon, it moves along, and all of a sudden it stands still for 3 days, and then slowly the sun rises. And that's maybe where we got the phrase that the sun rises, the Son of God rises, or whatever you want to think about it. That's what our ancestors used to know now the days are going to start getting longer and the nights are going to get shorter again. And it's an important celebration for them. It was the longest day, the same thing. They celebrated that.
Summer.
And we know this from all the statues and the monuments around. Monuments we can't even build today. So this is how important it was to our ancestors, whoever they might have been. We don't know. It seems like the more ancient we go, the more technologically better they get. When you're talking about the periods and that. But these things were all tied to the sky and watching the sky, and these were all tied to celebrations of very important
astronomy and and it says in this article they point out that traditional solstice celebrations were held in many ancient cultures. Roman feast of Saturnalia, which honored the god Saturn, was a week-long feast in December, and that included the solstice. During the feast, they offered gifts of imitation fruit, which symbolized fertility, dolls, which symbolized human sacrifice, and candles, which were reminiscent of the bonfires that were traditionally associated with pagan solstice celebrations. They elected a mock king, and then but you didn't want to be the mock king because he got killed at the end of the celebration. But it generally, the whole Saturnalia has been connected to debauchery and carrying on and sort of letting go. And but
well, there was also stories about Saturn being the original sun, and that changed too. Christmas festivities around the world celebrate the birth of Jesus on Christmas Day, which falls on December 25th. However, it was believed that the 25th was chosen to coincide with the pagan celebrations of Saturnalia and the
Natalis Invicti.
And some believe that celebrating the birth of the true light of the world.
Yeah, so it's interesting. The symbolism is clear. You know, that the sun comes back to life, that the days get longer, that the earth begins to ripen and bloom again. And
the cycle starts all over again.
Yeah.
And in this article, they have different celebrations, different times. I thought it's just important to look at this, and you can go in deeper into looking at our ancestors and how they celebrated. But if you just go back and look at some of these go on YouTube and look at what our ancestors did in the past as far as what they were building. It always seems there was two things it was important to them: the solstice celebrations, and the other thing was the disaster prediction. And we've talked about that a little bit on the show. I talked about it with Paige quite a bit, and I think in the future we'll talk a little bit more about the disaster prediction thing.
The cycle.
The cycle that is going on, a 12,000-year cycle, which we're in now. But, I mean, if you look at all the different celebrations here, you've got the modern times, which is the Christmas and the New Year's. But if you go back, you've got the winter solstice. You always have the arrival of winter. And it's named different.
It's interesting. There was the word Yule, Y-U-L-E. We don't think about the derivation of terms and words.
Right.
But it came from the word Jule, which was a Norse term, and it referred to the winter solstice celebration in pre-Christian times.
The rebirth of the sun god. Yes.
Yeah, and it was, Yule is also known as Alban Arthan, which was one of the lesser sabbats of the Wiccan year. lesser Sabbaths is the... When ancient believers celebrated the rebirth of the sun god in the days with more light. And then this was right around the time of the winter solstice and lasted for 12 days. And then there's Dongzhi, which is the arrival of winter in China. And that's during that time, families get together and celebrate the year that they've had. See, again, it's all about recognizing achievement and finding things to be grateful for. And it becomes an important part of the family.
Yeah. The Hopi Indians in northern Arizona had Soyal, a winter solstice celebration. Ceremonies and rituals began with purification, dancing, and occasional gift-giving. At a time of the solstice, he welcomed protective spirits from the mountains.
Known as kachinas. And then prayer sticks were crafted and used for blessings and various rituals.
Yeah.
And it's, everything that we do has a basis in history and in tradition. And it's familiar to us because that's our lives. And it's kind of fun to look back and see where did it come from and what was the derivation of it.
Yeah, in Holland we had two different celebrations in December. One 25th day was Christmas, of course, but the December 5th was Santa Claus Day.
What was it called?
Santa Claus Day. Sinterklaas.
Sinterklaas.
Yeah, and he would be coming from Spain with the...
From Spain?
From Spain, yeah. He was the king of Spain would come with his black man. And he had all the candy in the bag. And in the old days, now there's a big thing in Holland saying, oh, we can't say black anymore. No more Black Pete. Now he's Dirty Pete, maybe, or something like that.
That's I want delivering my presents.
Well, he had the presents in the bag, but he'd take it out, and if you were bad, supposedly you went in the bag.
Oh, whoa.
So that's the way that went. And he was a black man in Holland with, it was... So different traditions, all different countries.
He was covered in soot because he went down the chimney.
Yeah, that's why they call him Soot Pete now. But it's Black Pete.
Okay.
And as a kid, I knew he got dirty but it was always a black man. It was always a Negroid person, whatever you call them these days. I don't know. Just people, I think.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah. So there's lots of, in this article here, which is called Winter Solstice, Our Ancestors' Customs and Traditions, outlines a lot of these things, and I thought just really kind of interesting to talk about them.
Yeah. No, it's always interesting to see where we came from. And, our families, I don't have a lot of strong memories of particular holidays until we got married and we started going up to Tallahassee to your family for Thanksgiving and Christmas. And those are the memories. And, of course, it's been 25 years.
Yeah, good memories. We'll be right back, folks.
Introducing Primal Edge.
Today, it's even more important to take a supplement that complements your health. Primal Edge is specifically formulated to boost your immune system and help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Our early ancestors found all their nutritional requirements in the wild environment. But today, our food sources don't contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that we need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated humic and fulvic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They've been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, without them, life cannot exist.
That's right, Ellen. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge. Just $89 exclusively at TFNN.com.
Hi folks, this is Tom O'Brien. The printing presses are working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The U.S. deficit has risen 200% in 1 year with no end in sight. The markets are looking for an additional stimulus bill to get us through this once-in-a-generation pandemic. There is no free lunch, folks. The more stimulus dollars put into the marketplace, the less your dollar is worth each and every day. This is the time to protect yourself with a portion of your portfolio in the metal market. The Gold Report comes out each Monday morning. I bisect and dissect the dollar, silver, gold, the XAU, and the HUI. The Gold Report is a long-term hedge against the dilution of your buying power. The U.S. has put more than $6 trillion into the marketplace in the last 6 months, with more expected in the next few months. The market did and does need the stimulus, but it will have long-term implications on our buying power. The Gold Report comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to TFNN.com and order the Gold Report now. Protect your buying power. Order the Gold Report now.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
All right, I'd like to remind you to pick up the Primal Edge. We have a sale going on starting on Thanksgiving, $25 off. You use the promo code PRIMAL2020 at the checkout, and you get $25 off the first bottle when you sign up and subscribe, and you save, and you can cancel anytime, of course.
That's Primal2020.
Yes, 2020.
2020, yeah. We've been talking about a lot of things today, which is finding all kinds of interesting stuff.
Yep.
And this article is about, do men or women have healthier brains? And, you know, this is not an article about the difference between men and women's brains in the sense of, oh, well, a woman's brain is physically smaller than a man's brain or anything.
Or they're smarter than a man.
Yeah, right. But what it is really is talking about the chemical and wiring, the biochemistry and the wiring that's in the brains, and there is a significant difference.
Boy, is there ever.
Yeah, it says women have more connectivity in the limbic system, which resonates with the maternal instinct and caring for everyone else before themselves, and that, but without any effects on behavior or intellect. So it's not a matter of being smarter or less smart or behaving differently. It's a matter of what are the health risks that stem from the brains.
Well, the first thing I always notice is that women go to the doctor a lot and men don't. And this is mainly preventative.
Yeah.
And checkups, more checkups, because there's more going on with you guys.
Well, I think that we've all been trained to go get your mammograms and get your internals, you know, once a year, go get the pap smears for the cancer,
right,
and checking for breast cancer. There's just a lot going on in the world, and it is preventable and it is curable, and if you keep on top of it. But I don't know why men are less likely to go to a doctor. You know,
We're just chickens.
Your knee is, if you have water on the knee, you know, do you go to the doctor and get it drained? And that's the question. And how do you deal with it? Just a little thing, you know.
Well, during these times it's difficult. You don't want to go to because that's where the sick people are, even in those doctor places. But yeah, as women go to the doctor a lot more. They've been trained to do that, I would say. They have more reason to go there. You have your monthly period to deal with. You have hormones that get involved in that. So I've definitely noticed throughout my lifetime that, you guys have more things going on. I always was glad I was a guy. Sorry about that.
Well, it's lucky considering you're a guy.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
Some people are not that fortunate. No, seriously, you know. But the point here is they're saying that men's brains, you're talking about aging, how brains age. And so at puberty, everybody gets the hormones, you know, that explosion of hormones. More androgens like testosterone in men, more estrogens, as well as progesterone, oxytocin, and prolactin for women. And male aging is pretty linear. Testosterone very slowly, gradually declines over the years into the 80s. But with women, it says here, the women's brains experience bumps in the road. So if there's a pregnancy, if there's a delivery, there's hormone levels go up and down during the month. Then in perimenopause and menopause, estrogen plummets. And these shifts cause women to be subjected to extra health risks. So they're talking about from depression to dementia, because the brain has to constantly adjust to the flows of the hormones and the biochemical changes.
Yeah.
And they're saying that chronic stress leads to brain shrinkage and reduced memory performance by the time you reach your 40s and 50s. And this change can be more severe in women. These days, people are under a huge amount of stress.
Sure.
And I'm very concerned about the long-term effects it will have on men and women.
Well, women seem to learn a lot more about their bodies and how not only their bodies, but men's bodies too, where I think the men are kind of, we're out there to get it and you're out there to stop us. That's kind of the way it was when I was 13 years old. We wanted to feel you guys up. We wanted to go to, all kinds of things that were going on with hormones, where the women were going, wait a minute, what's going on? Well, that's kind of the battle that was going on when I was a teenager, it seemed like to me.
Yeah, well, kids you're just coming into your own, you're beginning to feel.
Well, you get these hormones, you don't know where they're coming from, and they give you feelings, and all of a sudden things are going on. You want to.
Your body reacts.
Yeah, your body reacts, and so it was a very confusing time.
Well, plus when we were growing up, the women were taught, be careful, don't let anybody touch you, you don't want to get pregnant.
Well, imagine how it is these days. My goodness, can you imagine being 13 now?
Mm-mm.
No, I can't either.
Yeah, well, they talk about the stress hormone cortisol, and both stress and sex hormones are produced by pregnenolone. Okay, the mother of all hormones. When you're stressed, your body steals it from one use for another. So they make cortisol instead of testosterone or estrogen. So that's where you start getting those hormonal imbalances. If you're very, very stressed, it throws your entire biochemical system out of whack. And it causes more of the cortisol, and the cortisol is what is adding to the stress on your brain and just physically on your stress. Perimenopause is sending estrogen levels down, and right in the middle of all of this, you've got taking care of children, taking care of parents.
And take care of the husband.
And a combination can lead to earlier menopause or make menopausal symptoms worse. It says a 45-year-old woman has a 1 in 5 chance of developing Alzheimer's, while a man the same age has only a 1 in 10 chance. I don't know. It says women start to get the disease earlier, and the classic symptoms that are starting in perimenopause, but perimenopause is the time leading up to the full-blown menopause.
That's the first 5 years or so.
Perimenopause. Yeah. It's you can test their blood tests that will show whether or not you're in perimenopause. It has to do with the drop in the hormones. Okay, so mood swings, depression, anxiety, brain fog, disrupted sleep, memory lapses, migraines, and even hot flashes. And it says here that those things all originate in the brain, not in the reproductive system, which is extremely interesting.
So the signals that we're getting from the hormones are reacted in the brain and not
in the brain.
Yeah, very interesting for sure.
Yeah, and so it's kind of daunting, but by the same token, and so many men have been kind of slightly removed from the child rearing, slightly removed from the responsibilities in the house. These days, I think there's much more balance and much more sharing. But it still may fall more on the women. Yeah,
especially in the black communities, because the men left a long time ago. There was this whole
not just in the poor communities.
In poor community, but more in the black, I would say. There's a tradition of black men leaving, and that was just as part of our society for a while. I think that is changing now. But yeah, certainly, you guys have it rougher, I think, as far as, what's going on in the body.
Whose job is it? It's not the job, it's the partnership.
Yeah.
And that's how it should be.
Well, a lot has to do with the health of the person, and what you're eating affects that too. So let's talk about that in our last segment.
Okay.
So we'll be right back, folks.
Back in the day, I joined Hotel California in 2006, and like many of you, was drawn in by, as well as...
Whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows.
You see, I believe that everything in life happens for us, not to us. And Tom ignited the fire within me to want to learn how to master the markets. So how did I go from knowing nothing about technical analysis to becoming the #1 market timer for the S&P 500 in 2018 and the #2 market timer in 2019? Simply put, I hired coaches with a proven track record, which led me to a whole new set of tools that I created to interpret the message of buyers and sellers. I would love the opportunity to teach you this award-winning set of tools and to help you improve your market timing. You can test drive my newsletter service, Mastering Probabilities, for the next 30 days with no risk to you. Plus, you'll gain access to archive workshops that'll take you step by step through my system. Sign up today by going to the homepage of TFNN.com and selecting Mastering Probability in the newsletter tab.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get them, folks.
TFNN has developed a daily programming lineup for traders by traders. We start every trading day live at 8:30 a.m. with Tommy O'Brien hosting the morning market kickoff as he starts the day off by breaking down everything you need to know about what's going on for the trading day ahead. At 9 a.m., Larry Pesavento takes your calls and questions live on the air for the opening bell as he hosts Trade What You See. At 10 a.m., Tom and Tommy O'Brien host the Bull Bear Trading Hour. At 11 a.m., it's Kevin Hinks and Alex Coffey from TD Ameritrade Network with Fast Market. Basil Chapman at noon with the Tiger Technicians Hour. Steve Rhodes hosts the Trader's Edge at 1 p.m. Dave White with the Power Trading Hour at 2 p.m. And Tom O'Brien closes out the day for the final hour of trading live from 3 till 4. Don't miss a second of our daily programming lineup. Tune in to Tiger TV every trading day live at TFNN.com. Educating investors.
And just to end on a more high note, there are things you can do to reverse aging and to improve your health, no matter how old you are. And this article talks about the fact that diet contributes to how your brain works, and you can improve your brain function, and you can increase your health and your well-being by eating good food, well-sourced.
They talk about a Mediterranean diet, and mainly this article supports vegan and vegetarianism. When they say things like, rich in vitamins and rich in vegetables and fruits and herbs and nuts and beans and whole grains, I would change that to say, rich in, vegetables that have been soured. Or that have been fermented. Fruits that have been fermented.
Seasonal.
Beans, and seasonal, and beans that have been soaked and fermented, and whole grains that have been fermented.
And twice cooked.
Yeah. But you can eat some red meat, too. That is really good meat. And, the animal's been fed good, because we know our brain runs on fat. It runs on sugar, but it runs on fat, too. And it runs much better on fat.
This article even mentions, there are dried apricots, berries, and cantaloupe. Things that are in season that are a nice little treat. Mm-hmm. You don't eat them in moderation, and they create phytoestrogens, which then act as that helps your brain. And
sure.
So it's and also exercise. There have been a lot of studies done that people who were in their 70s and 80s developed significant muscle mass with exercise and strength training and resistance training. And it's never too late. So don't give up and don't say, well, I'm old. Just don't be old.
And every bit helps. I mean, you're starting today. I mean, it changes your life, that's for sure. And you just start out a little bit at a time and work your way up, and you're doing fine. It's as easy going for a nice walk every single day.
Oh, it is. Yeah. And it's important. You're only as old as you feel. And you can take steps to improve your quality of life and your strength and the way you feel every morning. And when you get up in the morning and you say, yes, it's another morning.
Celebrate another day. Yes, it's really important. Thanks a lot for sticking around, folks.
Be well.
Yeah, celebrate, and see you next time.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
TFNN